Well, it's great to meet with you guys, and excited about your latest album and stuff that's going on. Just a little bit about Truth and Love Radio Network. We're really geared to reaching to that next generation, particularly the Gen Zs, and dealing with absolute truths, really dealing with a post-truth society, reaching those next generations. You guys are what, 3 generations now in your truth? Kind of tell me a little bit about how you feel like how it's passed down through the generations, what you guys have done, and how that's kind of affecting the group, and what you've done to see more than one generation be involved with music and the ministry and things of that nature.
Well, of course, my father brought me in, and he was singing with the Lefevres, and they had a girl leave. She was going to get married. It was in the middle of the summer, and so he called me in. I was thrilled to death. I mean, this was my dream. All I ever wanted to do was be like my father and sing gospel music, and so I was thrilled to death. Got on a plane, flew to Lexington, Kentucky, sang my first song, and from then, when all the Lefevres retired, my father changed the name. And we started the Rex Nelons Singers on May the 5th, 1977, me and Janet Pascal, Rodney Swain, and my father. And then a few years after that, I had a little baby girl, me. And
Wow.
and this is the truth. Okay, so I'm due, like that day or whenever it was, and it was around March 28th. And I told my doctor, I said, I need to have this baby today because I'm hosting the Dove Awards in 10 minutes. And he just looked at me and said, okay. And so I had Amber, and my doctor came in and he said, well, I heard my name on the radio. Amber really never had a choice, and she really just was. She was stage ready from just a baby. We'd bring her on, she'd sing her song, and it was just an easy thing for her to be coming in, and then I had Autumn, the favorite.
Of course, there has to be a favorite. There has to be.
Easy, not quite easy. Get her to come on stage, but we still brought her on, and I fixed her the same. You realize that two girls are not going to be the same. Clearly. I mean, I would put her little hair in a bow, and and she would be walking down the aisle pulling that bow out, and so I just gave up on the bows, but I could hear her in her room, and she could sing so well, and both of them, just harmony came to them so easily. And so there was one time, Autumn, I don't know, how old were you when Jason got sick? We were on a Gaither cruise, and she was about 15. She said she would never sing on the stage. She was never going to be a singer. And anyway, Jason got sick on the cruise, and she had to come up and fill his part. And so we never let her go back down. Nope. So
that's exactly right. Once you're in, you can't get out. There
that's
you go.
Right. I like the mafia.
Yeah.
He's an expert on the mafia.
I know I'm the mafia now.
Yeah. 35 years in the ministry, I don't seem to figure out how to get out. It just keeps going on. So I do understand. And in fact, I also have a son who is the managing director of the radio network, and he's in it now. He's actually been in radio now for he's getting to 31. He started as a teenager at a radio station and is now 15 plus years now in radio. So definitely you're in. This is good stuff. So girls, tell us a little bit about, from your perspective, as far as getting into the industry and kind of where you feel the Lord's leading you guys. Again, as a younger generation, we'd love to hear that, because that's our audience. That's who we're looking at and reaching it. So tell us a little bit about that for yourself.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did start when I was 13 years old professionally. I sang for ever since I was born, like she said, and I did some children's solo albums with Day One Records. But I didn't actually join the Nelons until I was 13, and they had a soprano who left suddenly. and needed a fill-in. So that seems to be a reoccurring theme.
Yeah.
But she had left suddenly, and we were flying to California, and my mom came to me and said, "We're going to need you to fill in for soprano." And I thought, okay, I can do that. I knew all their songs, and I don't think she knew if I could sing the harmony or not, but I knew that I could. And we went to what they have is Great Western, fan festival out there in California. And I thought I was going to be fine until I got up there, and there was like 5,000 people staring at me, and then all my peers on the front row, and I broke out into hives.
She did.
And,
Her little legs were going.
They were shaking.
Oh my.
Gary Goff, that used to be one of his favorite things to tell about me, his favorite memories about me, because he was the one who introduced us that night. And but ever since then, I have really made it a priority to encourage young people to use their gifts. And a lot of them, they're scared, they're nervous. My sister can attest to that. That's really her testimony. She was the same way. But once you get up there and you just get used to it, when God gives you a gift, He's going to help you use it the way that you're supposed to. And I have loved it I've loved it my whole life, but now I love it even more because I'm doing it with my family and now my younger sister. And so we just try to go around and encourage young people to use the gifts that God gives you. Autumn and I love bringing a more younger style to the group. Not that they're old, by any means,
No.
but we love the more praise and worship songs. We listen to people like Kane and We the Kingdom, CeCe Winans, people like that, Carrie Joe. Those are the people that we listen to on a daily basis. And so with the new album, Beautiful, that was kind of what we brought to the table, were things like that. And so that's what we love to listen to. And you can kind of hear that on the new album a lot.
Yeah, I really did. In fact, we've been, really digging into your album and listening to it. And I love, again, that sound that we're looking for, because again, we're looking at that's next generation, giving them something that they want to hear, while at the same time plugging in the truths that have, gone through the generations. It's still the same solid message. The song on there, the "Oh for 1,000 Tongues," I noticed that we were talking about kind of the talking points here. 40th anniversary edition of that. So what's the change? What's the sound that's a little bit different? You mentioned kind of a change in the sound. What is that? What is the sound difference from 40 years ago?
I think it's just a little bit of the arrangement is different. Larry Goss did the arrangement, and that was one of the last times we ever worked with him, was on the song "Oh for 1,000 Tongues," and he also did the first version. So it was really neat how we just added a little twist on the end of "Oh for 1,000," and what a joy to work with.
Yeah, it was a great song. Great that you guys got to work with him. I know his reputation has been fantastic and all that he's done there.
And
Yeah.
it was really, this song, help me with this, Jason. It was in the can. We had it together, but we never released it.
Yeah, it's been in the vault since
Oh wow.
it's been in the vault since he passed away. We were actually doing a Christmas recording with Larry, and we had some time left over on the session. And Larry suggested that, he said, with our extra time, he said, even if we just do it for me, he said, can we re-record "Oh for 1,000 Tongues to Sing"? And so we cut a new track, and it's just been sitting there. The track was so good, I asked Larry to go ahead and write an orchestra chart to it. And then he passed away about a month later. Then we brought in the Nashville String Machine, contracted by Carl Gordetsky, and they played Larry's orchestration. We had Larry's piano, and then we put voices on it. And then we decided that we would release it on its 40th anniversary.
That's awesome. Great song. Love it. Now, Jason, you co-wrote one of the songs on the album. What was that? And kind of tell me a little bit about that process.
Yeah, the title cut and our first single, "Beautiful," was a song that I was a co-writer in. The co-writers were myself, Kenna West, and Don Poitras. And I had written a devotional several years ago explaining what makes the gospel so beautiful. Like if a non-believer was looking at a believer's life, well, what's your compelling argument? Well, one of the great things about the gospel is that it gives us the joy of Jesus that we can experience even in hard times. It gives us peace even when the world's turned upside down. those are some of the benefits of the gospel. And so I thought, well, that's a great hook for a song. And they wanted us to write at least one original song because this album was a collection of songs that we've always wanted to record or bring back. So Don had written one of my favorite songs ever, and it was called The Promise, recorded by the Martins. And I thought his acoustic approach would be great on the, to bring that energy. And then obviously, Kenna is such a great lyricist and a writer as well. And so collectively, it just exceeded my expectations. And then they decided to release it as a single, became the title cut. So yeah, I'm very proud.
Awesome. Yeah, great song. We've kind of been digging into it, loving it, getting it out there, getting some playtime as well. Excited about that. Now, you guys have a venue and a farm, and I'll tell you, so our headquarters is in LaGrange, so we're not far from you.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So tell me a little about this. I don't know how I didn't know that
Yeah.
you guys had this. So
Our next big event is Labor Day weekend, Friday and Saturday. We're having a big festival. You need to come on down to Labor Day.
Yeah.
But we do right here. You see Clark and Nelon Farms. So we have a real working farm. We raise Black Angus cattle and sell as beef, and then we also have horses. And then right there in the middle of all of that, we have this 10,000 square foot venue that we not only do weddings and corporate events and retreats, we do concerts, and we do about 4 to 5 concerts a year. And so it's a full-fledged family operation. We are all involved in different ways, and it's really, really fun.
So girls, you get to plant the cows and all the fun stuff on the farm as well.
We have fed the cows and the horses. Yes.
With tongs though, not with our hands.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, I
No.
mean, like we feed them like the feed and stuff. And one little story, me and Autumn were left to do it one day, and I don't remember where everybody was, but Autumn came and got me. She said, can't do it. Because in the feed bag, we try to close it up. It's a big bag. I mean, it's a big bag of feed for the cows. And Autumn said she lifted up the bag and she saw these little eyes going.
Click little eyes.
Well,
Yes.
3 sets of eyes going.
3 sets of
click.
eyes.
3 sets.
3-eyed.
3 sets of
3
eyes.
little mice. The 3 blind mice were in that bag.
There you go.
I just shut it back and I was like, nope.
Nope.
Not
Good.
today, not
Not today,
today.
Saint.
Sorry, cows. Guess you're gonna skip a meal.
Woo. Yeah, country living, you get all that fun critters and stuff. Yeah, I grew up on a farm, cows, pigs. The chickens were not real favorites of mine, but
We have
definitely
chicken farms all around us, so I don't need any chickens. I smell them enough.
that's exactly right.
Everywhere. They're everywhere. No chickens.
I love going to Tractor Supply and looking at the little chick.
Yeah, they're cute then. They're not so cute when they grow up, and they're really not cute when you have to prepare them for a meal. That's not fun at all.
Oh, no.
No.
I
I
didn't
definitely didn't like it.
When we first got there and we started talking to the cows, I didn't realize what was going to happen. That if they go to the other side of the pasture, like we have a driveway, and on one side are just all the cows, and then we have another pasture on the other side. And if you're there, you're dead cow walking. I mean, I did not realize that. And I was naming those cows in the beginning, and I have since ceased.
Yes, you just kind of have to let that go because the end result's not exactly the fun part of that.
No,
It tastes so good.
It's the circle.
Oh, yes, it does. It tastes so good. Like, we may have to have a conversation about maybe getting some of that for ourselves. But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the fact that this is generational and that you guys see the need for ministry. And, we're excited again about your new project, getting that out there. I know our audience will love what you guys are playing. We love that. Again, as you guys continue to produce stuff, we'll be glad to get it out there because, again, it really fits what we're trying to do. And I love the new sound that you girls are really bringing to it because, again, that's kind of where we're looking to get this younger generation, give them a place to go, encourage them in ministry. So before we kind of wrap up, any last minute things you want to kind of share with our audience, maybe some upcoming other projects or your tour, kind of where you're at. They hear us all over the country. So if you're in different places, love for our audience to know that. In fact, we will link your website, your schedule on our website, and let people know where you guys are at. But any last second thoughts or comments you'd like to share?
I think the best way for folks we've got a lot of things going on right now. We got a lot of projects, different types of creative projects we're working on. The best way for folks to stay in the know and kind of follow that is they just got to text the word Nelon, Nelon, to this number, 33777. If they text Nelon to that number, 33777, then they'll get an email how to sign up, and we'll send them notifications on all that we're doing.
Awesome. Great. Love for our audience to be able to get out to where you're at, and definitely with your venue here close to where our headquarters are, we'd love to be able to come partner with you there, but I appreciate it. So appreciate what you guys are doing. Looking forward to hearing some more things in the future.
Thank you
so
so